This is the last thing I'm going to say about my guy Draymond. And the beautiful thing about talking about Draymond is that him and I have a good relationship, and he knows that there's nothing that I won't say to him privately that I wouldn't say publicly. And so he came out and said some stuff about Kendrick Perkins, right? He came out and said some stuff about Kendrick Perkins, which everyone is sitting here saying, oh, it's offensive and blah, blah. Like, we know that. We know that. But I want to make sure that, like, you know, I'm not defending Kendrick Perkins. I'm defending people in general. If you get on these platforms, and Draymond's got a huge platform, he has done as good of a person to doing media while playing probably since me and Channing. You know, he's probably done as good since me and Channing.
Yeah.
And I say that to say this. When you start calling people out their name, and, you know, the term low-hanging fruit, and I said it because I did a Twitter Spaces with Perk. Draymond is so intelligent. He should have people listening to his podcast for maybe some hot takes. Maybe, you know, because he is an intelligent person, because of his basketball IQ, because he's a 4-time champion, because that's why people should be tuning into his content, not because he is being negative and disrespectful to somebody else. Now, if someone says, hey, like again, Shannon Sharp called me lazy. I made a video about that saying, like, don't refer to me as that. And Shannon Sharp corrected himself. So if Draymond had a problem with someone's takes, if he has a problem with someone's stuff, then come out and say that. I have no problem with Steph saying, oh, these so-called analysts want to say we're not going to be petty. I love petty. You want to come back with receipts? Yes. But when you call a black man coon, when you say these things because of whatever reason, and one of his things was like, oh, he's up there wearing this uniform and he's putting on these clothes and he's out here doing all this dancing around. And you're like, bro, I took a pie in my face. Right? Like, I've done a bunch of things. We're having fun. That's part of when you have to do a show every day, you find ways to make fun. So calling people out of their name, especially a father of 4 kids and 3 boys, and you, Draymond Green, with that platform is saying those words. Now, if he says something to you and you don't like it, whatever, reach out to him. Be a man. But doing that is disrespectful. And, like, it's not going to have a long shelf life. You're too smart, you're too good, you're too intelligent to, you know, and Perk brought up a point. He says that I'm out here doing this. Meanwhile, he's getting people to tune into his podcast that is on Colin Coward. So, like, Colin Coward is making money while Draymond is calling another black man a coon. Think about that. That put money in Colin's pocket. And I'm not pointing out Colin. What I'm saying is, you want to talk about Perk dancing around and doing some stuff and saying this stuff. Meanwhile, like, you're a part of a network that is, you know, largely, you know, making money for other people, including Draymond South. But just like we're on a podcast network, but we own this content, you know, I believe Draymond owns his content, but, like, we're not out here calling people's names and making money for Blue Wire. We're not doing that. And so, like, that's my thing about this, is that as players are entering into this media space, let's keep it positive. Doesn't mean we have to disagree. Doesn't mean that we have to like each other. Doesn't mean that we have to talk positively. But we have said on this podcast and have edited out hours of stuff to protect people. Like our guests, to protect us from saying stuff and speaking off the cuff. Hours. So just... And Draymond, and look, I didn't reach out to Draymond because, like, Draymond cannot care. Draymond can, that's fine. Like, that's why, whatever. And Draymond knows we've had these conversations privately, right? But I just want to make sure that I voice that I just don't find that acceptable, and there's no place for that in what we are doing as, like, sports talk people, sports journalists or analysts. Those are my 2 words. 2 cents.
Yeah. I also think we can't just... No, it's not a suck-off fest all the time, right? Like, we have to be critical of things.
Draymond, you people get so like some of those.
I could say 1,000 good things. Richard could say 1,000 good things about somebody. Yeah, right. But dude, we were like, we get what you're. Even he said he was. But that's the thing, is like, if we are wrong, I would always want, if we're wrong, especially when it comes to the game of basketball, I would love and appreciate, whether it's me or Stephen A. Smith or JJ Redick does a great job of going, no, that's not right. Here's the film to show you why that's not right, so that people learn it and are engaged, right? Because that's less to do with the player. You could say, you know what? I don't think he's engaged. Here's what I saw. Clip 1 through 5. People go, damn, okay, he's been watching film. But to go, yeah, this guy's stupid because he said I wasn't good in game 2. Well, were you? No, but I don't like the way he talks to me. What? So that doesn't give you free range to just be upset. Well, we're taking receipts. Receipts for what? Everyone, as soon as you got into the playoffs, everyone's like, well, Golden State's going to win. Like, Golden State or Phoenix. Right? It wasn't like, oh, you were not the underdog.
And so
you were not the underdog.
There's nothing but respect. And I go back to the Shannon Sharp. Shannon said something about me. I very intensely disagreed. He commented back, and we shook hands and we went our way. That's not going to be the last time that me and Shannon Sharp disagree. That's not going to be the last time that me and Skip Bayless or Stephen A. or anybody disagrees, or even me and Draymond disagree. Not in this space, because most of our stuff is having like heated debates. And so like if we can keep it in the space, and if Draymond, if you feel like, or if any person feels like it's gone from basketball to personal, then address it in such. But like going personal and then more personal and more personal, that's negative. I don't have time for that. I don't want that energy. I don't want to be around that energy.
The name calling.
And that's why. That's not you
Unless
you
you're
poopy
chicken.
face.
you guys are chip.
That's the way you
All
take
right.